Of course, I was standing around waiting on Deirdre to push start on all the cameras, not realising that we had already went live on Facebook. We only got a chance to look back on it today. And thank God I wasn't saying anything too bad. We weren't having our usual bitch behind the scenes or whatever. We were actually very quiet, as somebody put in the comments. I've never seen Janette so quiet. I was literally waiting on her to say, okay, we're live. So we're live today. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We were off getting our nails painted there earlier on. We're kind of on a Christmassy green sprucey colour this morning. So we got great reaction to yesterday's wreath. And I know I did kind of ask, will I do one glitzy or will I do one natural? And then what happened when I started making the wreath, I didn't really make it kind of glitzy enough. I haven't got an awful lot of glitzy material here in the school at the moment. So I had one of these stems. This was actually a stem of kind of like just all of this material, this is all artificial, and all of this material was on one stem. So what I did just before I came on camera was I broke it up and I wired them all individually, which is a great tip if you're ever making wreaths and you're trying to get good value out of something. Buy like a nice decent stem, and where a lot of people might think about using that in a flower arrangement, standing up to get a little bit of height, I always find it takes a little bit of time, but it works out great value. So first of all, we better start introducing ourselves. For anyone that doesn't know, I think most of you know who I am, but just in case, my name is Janette. I'm from Case Flower School, and we're a training school here based in Dublin, but our training is worldwide. We have students from all parts of the UK, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, you name it, chances are we've had a student from there. All of our courses are online, but they're that little bit different to normal online classes in that we have a lot of interaction with our students. All our students get one-to-one interaction, and they're all made members of our Bloom Room, which is our virtual interactive classroom. If anybody wants information on our online training, drop us an email, info@caseflowerschool.com.
Okay,
so
just
before,
yeah,
but I haven't asked them to tell you.
I'm not yet anyway, so you can hold your horses for a minute. I've actually tried something new on TikTok, which I've never done before. So if you're watching on TikTok, you might be able to help me out and see if it works. I've set a goal, and the goal is for 50 roses. So somewhere, if you're watching us on TikTok, you'll see a rose and you can send us a rose. You don't get paid. It's not a charged or anything like that. It's not paid. But I think
prepared an orchid now.
Well, the rose was the first one on it. But I don't know. I actually don't know how it works. We're still very much learning TikTok. So if anybody knows on TikTok, let us know. But if
you know how it works, maybe put it in the comments so that we can tell everybody else how to send the roses to us.
How it works, absolutely.
So again,
now you can ask
that voice from the wilderness, that's Deirdre, who's always behind camera. And when we're out anywhere and we meet people, like people say, oh God, yeah, you know, I recognise you. And Deirdre says, yeah, you very rarely see my face. I'm from behind the scenes. So first of all, anyone that's watching, let us know, who are you? Where are you watching from? What's the weather like in your part of the world? And again, would you like a glitzy wreath, which I'm going to start with anyway, but again, if I get enough reaction, maybe I can do an all natural wreath as well.
Okay, somebody's telling me on TikTok, people have to buy coins to send me roses. Forget that. I don't want any roses. No. Just keep the hearts coming then.
Keep the hearts coming, that's brilliant. Okay, so it's door wreaths that I'm doing today, Christmas door wreaths, but obviously they can be easily changed around to do a grave wreath for anybody that would prefer something to put on somebody's grave. So these are a pre-made frame. I buy them in and they're already made up. But one of the days, as promised, I will show you how to do one from scratch for anyone that would prefer to make it themselves from scratch. You can buy these in from different wholesalers, but also the supermarkets and local flower shops.
And just talk about that. If there is any garden centres or florists watching that are selling these bases to the public, please comment and let us know.
Because I know we have Yvonne over in Mylands Garden Centre and she sells them, you know what I mean? But they're based over in Galway. But if there is any garden centres or flower shops watching there, put your details in the comments there. Put maybe the link to your Facebook page, put the link to your website, put your phone number, put your email address, whatever, that again, and say the area that you're in, anybody wants to contact you. So with these pre-made bases, I like to add a little bit of eucalyptus. So this is just eucalyptus, which you can get out of your own garden. This is actually, we bought this eucalyptus in. So it's bought in from a foliage farm in Wicklow, called Wicklow Foliage Farm. If anybody happens to be down in County Kerry, you can also buy it in from the Irish Green Guys. And there is a few other foliage growers around the country. But depending on how many of them you're going to make, if you're only making 1 or 2, do you know what? Go out to your own garden and get a little bit of eucalyptus in your own garden.
Just you never asked the weather forecast, and it's coming in fat and fast
well,
now here at the moment.
Tell us their name, where they're from. You're only half listening.
I'm watching.
You were looking for the roses.
I'm looking for the roses on TikTok. Let me see. We have Carrie Ann is watching it from Scotland. It's dry, but it's freezing cold. Bernadette's watching it from Galway, and it's a lovely bright day there. And let me see. Is watching it from County Loud, and she says it's cold. Well, it's pissing rain here in Dublin, just to let you know.
Lashing. It wasn't too bad earlier on. It was mild, and then about a half an hour ago, it has started to lash. So as I just say, it's shite weather in Dublin. Really, really shite weather in Dublin.
Heather's over on on YouTube. The sun is shining here in the Isle of Lewis. It's freezing though. Loves the traditional wreath.
Okay, so this one's going to be a bit glitzy. So if you hang on, Heather, that's a real Scottish name, isn't it? I'll do a kind of a more natural one as well for. Okay, so I think first of all, yesterday I used this colour Poinsettia. It's kind of more of a wine burgundy. So today I'm going to go for this vibrant red colour. So I think with this vibrant red colour, I'll also go for the vibrant red bow. So it's going to be really Christmassy, really kind of glitzy. So with this bow, it's easier to make it on the table as if you were wrapping a scarf around somebody's neck, okay? And crossing it under their chin. So that's the easiest way to make it. Have it lying down on the table that you're kind of getting that effect. Now we do have a blog button on our website where we show like in detail, I'm just making this a little bit smaller, step by step how to make all of these bows and lots more. So then what I do is the front of the bow, I place it directly on the back of the bow, and then I squeeze, gather, squash, gather, squeeze, pocket it all in together there, nice and tight, and that's kind of the effect you see that you're getting. You then place a wire around the center, and the wires that you need are a 20 gauge wire, okay? 20 gauge wire, squeeze it in nice and tight and wrap one around the other. And then what you're able to do is puff or fluff the bow out, you know, that way. There's a wire inside it, and again, it can fancy them off. And then the ends of the tails, these are what we would call the tails, if you do a little cut on a 45-degree angle upwards into the centre of the bow, you get that nice little V end on the ends of your tails. If you want, you can just cut straight across if you prefer. So that's our bow made. So I'm going to insert the bow first. So there's no top and bottom to the wreath. You just decide which is the top and which is the bottom. You can decide to have your bow at the top of the door wreath or at the bottom of the door wreath. I always prefer them at the bottom.
Put it at the top for a change.
No, I'm going to do this
do it
at
at
the bottom.
bottom.
I'll do the next one at the top, okay, just to please you. Give us a vote. Do you want it at the top or the bottom? So when you're placing the bow into the frame, bring the side of the frame that you're going to work on close to your tummy and overlap it over the edge of your table. So at home, you're probably using your kitchen table. Insert that wire down straight into the base, okay? And try not to lift it up. But anybody watching for the first time, you're probably wondering what happened to the wire. So there is the wire, you see underneath. But normally what I do then is I make like a U-bend and stick that spare piece of wire back up into the base, and that secures your bow in place, okay?
Looks like they're all on your side, Janette.
They're all on the bow at the bottom. There you go. You see, majority wins. Now what I'm going to do is with the velvet poinsettia, I'm going to put one up at 12 o'clock. So do you see the way I've spinned that around on the table, that I have it close to my stomach, okay? And again, the plastic stem, I'm going to insert it down into the base. But this time, rather than lifting it up, the hand that's underneath meets the stem, makes that little U-bend, and sticks it back up into the frame to secure it in place. It's just hitting the wire there. There we go. Back up into it. And there's your flower at 12 o'clock. And what I'm then going to do is place a flower at 9 o'clock and then place a flower at 3 o'clock. Yesterday I put a lot more into it. Again, you can really do whatever you want. And every time I come on live here to demonstrate door wreaths to you, more than likely I'm going to always do them that little bit different. So do you see like what I've got there with just the 3 poinsettias? Now what I'm going to do is go on to the pine cones. Now again, I have all the pine cones wired, just to save time. But if you've been watching us over, we've had lots of live videos coming up, and there's still more of them coming up, showing you how to wire the pine cones, how to wire the lemon slices, how to wire the whole mandarins, how to make all your bows step by step. Like, we've lots of free videos coming up. And again, if you go to our blog button on our website, which is www.caseflourschool.com, or the other place where you'll find lots of free tutorials is on our YouTube channel. I'm probably live on YouTube at the moment. But if you go to our YouTube channel, again, Kay's Flower School, I tell you, it'll be like going down into a rabbit hole. You'll be watching for ages and ages. We've tons, hundreds and hundreds
lots
of
more
videos.
coming live in the next couple of weeks.
We didn't realise that our YouTube channel was so popular, to be honest. Like, we were posting stuff up there, but like, you know,
we don't look at numbers.
We weren't really looking at numbers. We didn't really know, was it getting any interaction? Was anybody bothered with it? And it was really only when we were over in America there a couple of weeks ago, the amount of Americans who came over to us and said, oh God, I follow you on YouTube. I found you on YouTube. And I'm saying, oh my God, YouTube, you know, where we always kind of thought people found us on Facebook or on Instagram. So we were absolutely amazed that, you know what I mean, most of the Americans, you know what I mean, seem to follow us on YouTube rather than on the other social media pages. I'm just going to hold this up now just so you can see it with the pine cones in it. Now what I'm going to do is go moving on to the glitzy pieces. So this is the pick that I broke up earlier on. I'm going to divide it in and out through it.
Janette Siobhan Reynolds is watching from bed. She had her gallbladder removed last Friday. She's feeling sorry for herself.
Oh God, well, I hope you're okay. And that is supposed to be really, really sore, you know, that way. So the only thing is, maybe the good side of it is that if you weren't trying to lose a few pounds, you probably can't eat at the moment. So imagine you could lose a few pounds before Christmas, and then Christmas you can binge out. There's always a bright side to everything, Siobhan. So look at it that way.
And Paul is watching in.
Siobhan's probably going to tell us now that she's about 8 stone nothing, so she doesn't need to lose weight.
Paul is watching in from a very cold Philadelphia this morning.
Hiya Paula, how are you? Well, it's not as cold in Dublin as it was yesterday. Yesterday was really, really bitter cold, you know, the way icy. But as I said, it started raining a little while ago here in Dublin, so it's absolutely miserable here now.
And just if anybody does have any questions that they want to ask while you have Janette here live, fire away.
Personal, private, or flurry, I'll answer. If I can answer it, I'll answer it. Okay, as I was saying then about YouTube, we were at a social media festival conference there last weekend, and there was a lady was giving classes. Actually, she has a free class coming up. We might actually post it in the comments there. So Anita Wong, she's a UK creator, tutor, and she specialises in YouTube. And she was giving a class on YouTube, and Deirdre and myself were absolutely amazed that she used the Kay's Flower School YouTube channel as her example, I suppose, of how good a YouTube channel was. And we were saying, oh my God, can't believe, you know. And she was saying, you have 17,000 followers, she said. Where she was saying herself, she only had 7,000. So, and then when like the interaction, and I can't even remember how many thousand million views that we had, but seemingly it was exceptionally good, you know that way. There was lots of zeros in it. I'll hold this up now just to let you see what it's looking like. So this is the glitzy bits of greeny and the glitzy bit of berry that was on that one stem. There was also 2 pine cones, and there was also these 2 little bells, so I'm going to add these in as well.
Charlotte wants to know, where'd you get the poinsettias, the red poinsettias?
We got them from a company called UK Floral Supplies. They're based in the UK, so if you are in the UK, you'll have absolutely no problem. But even if you're based in Ireland, you'll be able to get them as well. And they came all individual, so it was a box of heads. So that's how we bought them. We bought the stems separately, and then we just inserted the stem, if I can find my little hole there, inserted the stem up into it. There we go, and that's how you attach it.
And I think there was 200 in a box, was there?
200 in a box. They worked out very reasonable. But another option was that we could buy them like in little bushes where there was 5 or 6 flowers on the one stem, and again cut them off individually. Now an odd one ended up with too short of a stem, but I just added a wire onto it to make it a little bit longer. So again, just showing you the extra little pieces. Yeah. Okay, holding upside down. And the little bells that was on that stem, I'm going to add them down where the bow is, so it looks like the little bells are in the centre of our bow, you know that way. So again, when it's on the door, a house with loads of kids now going in and out, it'll kind of jingle. It's not much of a jingle out of it, but a little bit of a jingle out of it. Now to make it a little bit more glitzy, I'm going to use these Christmas picks. So again, we bought them from the same company, but you'll get these in the walk-around shops. So when you go into the walk-around shops, we just call them Christmas picks. And I'm talking about Euro shops, pound savers. What's the one up on the Kylmore Road?
Deals.
Deals. Any of these sort of places. Again, if you know of any of these sort of businesses that sell them, feel free to post them in the comments there. Again, they're reasonable enough, and they're great where you just stick them in and bending them up underneath, and again, it just gives you that little bit of glitz.
And you know, we might just ask, because you haven't asked yet, is that maybe
this
people
one
might
might
share this live. We'd love, because we're really struggling to get our reach out there at the moment. So if you're in a flower club or any sort of flower group, or if you know somebody who you think would enjoy something like this, please share it to them or tag them in it underneath that they will see it also.
Exactly.
And also we have our webinar tomorrow night.
Yeah. We've loads to tell us today, right? So first of all, start click and share, okay? So that'll help us. So while you're click and share, I can tell you about the webinar tomorrow night. So it's on at 7 o'clock. You do have to sign up to it. You can't just turn up. It's not like it's live on the Facebook or the YouTube like the way we're doing it here. So if you don't sign up, you won't be able to see it, okay? But if you are signed up, we weren't going to do this, but then a lot of people were saying, oh, they were going shopping tomorrow night and they were doing Sanctuary shopping and Smith shopping and all the rest. So if you are signed up, we will email you with the link so that you can watch it then at your own leisure, okay? So it's worth signing up for it. We'll put the link in the comments below. So just kind of scroll down and you'll find the link. If you can't find the link, just put a little question in there. Can't find the link, and we'll actually answer you. We always respond back to most people. If you're nice, we respond back to you.
And just if you're watching on TikTok, once this live goes, it goes, so we can't see your comments, but the link is in the bio, or drop us an email to info@KSFlair
I
School.
really have enough in that.
I think you do,
so
yeah.
there you go. There is a glitzy wreath, completely different to yesterday's attempt at a glitzy wreath. And then the last thing then is for hanging it up. So this is just a cheap florist ribbon, okay? I'm cutting the length of that. I'm putting the loop then around the frame and kind of tuck it in underneath the material or underneath the spruce, just so that it's hidden, you know, that way. Bring it through, just fumbling around here. Get the two pieces roughly the same length. I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm not finished because I'm going to do another one, okay? So I'm going to tie a knot there, and there you go. There is your glitzy wreath, and them strings is so you can hang it out of your knockers when you bring it home, okay? So again, if anyone has any questions about anything at all, I'm here now for the next 10 or 15 minutes while I do another one, and again, I'll be able to answer you. So
Paula says, ladies, you're amazing. Thanks for all you do. Oh, no problem at all. And all we ask for you guys to do is to share for us.
Exactly. Like, we do all these classes for free, and all we're looking for is a pathetic little share. All you have to do is click the share button, tag people who you know that likes flowers, you know, that way, and just to do something a little bit different for us.
Noreen has actually put the link over there on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, just scroll down. Noreen has put the link. Or if you're on Facebook, just comment, can I have the link? And we will come back.
Noreen will go.
Noreen will go and she'll put the link in as well.
She's sitting home with 5 kids,
That's
scratching
it.
her arse, doing nothing. Will you pass us that Ilex, Deirdre, when you get a second? So it's on the chair. So Ilex, I'm going to show you now in a second, because I'm going to do this one kind of like more natural. I'm adding a little bit of eucalyptus in through it as well.
Marion wants to know, are the flowers not real in the last one?
No, they're definitely not real. They're the poinsettias, and normally poinsettias don't last out water. Now you'll hear all these little tricks like, you know, the wax off a candle and scoring the end of it with a match, and there's all these little things. To be honest, they're not really great.
Noreen is at work.
No, it's at work.
Mary says she can't get into the link. So, Mary, drop us an email and I'll email you back the link, info@ksflourschool.com.
Is Noreen only half doing the job?
She must be only half doing the job, yeah.
Okay,
She's
so
double
there we
jobbing.
have a little bit of eucalyptus going in and out through the wreath, just to give it another little bit of texture. So this is another velvet ribbon that I have, but it's a narrower one to the one that I used previously. And this is available from O'Neill's Flowers. Now, to be honest, all of the wholesalers have a great selection. Just get my scissors here. Great selection of ribbons out there. So again, I'm doing this bow exactly the same. I'm going to, will I do it at the top or the bottom? So tell me there in the comments, do you want it in the top or the bottom? So again, like the easiest way to describe this, it's like doing the breast cancer bow. Now this one hasn't got a wire in it, so it's a little bit floppy, but sure, there's nothing like a bit of floppiness, is there, on a Tuesday afternoon? So I brought the back into the front, and I'm now doing the same thing, squashing it, scrunching it, and squeezing it all in together. I'm getting one of the 20 gauge wires, I'm wrapping the centre of it, pinching it in nice and tight, okay, and wrapping one wire on the other. And then I didn't really measure them really well, so I'm now just kind of folding over. I'm doing the 45-degree angle cut up into the centre of them, and it just gives me that little fancy cut at the end.
And just to say, Janette, about the bows, from tomorrow on the blog, there will be a page all about bows for Christmas.
Okay, so our blog page, we're really trying to work on the blog page over Christmas, so for the month of December, not just for Christmas. So like yesterday I said, and you'll still be able to find it, yesterday I said that we posted a step-by-step tutorial how to do a candle arrangement, okay, and that's completely free. So that's what it looks like. You see, with just a simple bow, and this time I'm going to put the bow at the top. And I'm just going to keep it very simple because I said this one is going to be natural. So this is what we call eyelet. If you watched yesterday, I showed you that it came like on a long stem. And what I did was I've broken it up, made little sprigs out of it, And again, like the eucalyptus, I'm now just going to go around then and just add this little bit of berry through it. But if you haven't got ilex, or you can't get it, it is expensive, I might as well tell you, but it's a great lasting berry, okay? And like
you get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for, exactly. But you could use the skimmia, or you could use, what else? I suppose the cotoneaster, or again, holly. Holly with a berry on it.
And actually, the holly this year has a lot of berries on it.
Seems to be, absolutely, definitely seems to be. So I'm just adding the little bit of ilex berry in and out through it, just to keep this one kind of like very natural. So just to kind of show you so far, that's what I've done. Again, any questions about any of the materials that I'm showing you here today, like where to source them, you know, that way.
Lynn wants to know, will the wreaths last till after Christmas on the grave if they're made now?
They will.
Unless it's robbed.
Unless it's robbed. If it was in Dublin, there's a good chance it could be robbed and resold.
And resold.
I'm only messing.
No, but it does happen.
Yeah,
Up in Bornabrina, but like my father-in-law's up in Bornabrina, and we wouldn't put the wreath on until the day before Christmas Eve, because they do get stolen off the graves.
But that one is probably from a posh area, I'd say, so they probably know what happened in her area. But yeah, they will last. You could have made them last week, to be honest. You know, that way there's no problem in them lasting. So anything that's for sale now will last till the new year. Like, this is the time of the year. Get your door wreaths, get your grave wreaths. And I know I was down in Sligo there a couple of weeks ago, or not a couple of weeks ago, last week I meant. And I added a Christmas grave wreath, you know, that way, to my sister-in-law's grave, because rather than just leaving it till the last minute, I always feel like have a little bit of Christmassy for the month of December. People have their decorations up. It is Christmas. Kids are in the Christmas spirit. Like, get going. So that's what it looks like with the ilex berry going through it. Now, I know these aren't natural, but I think they look very natural. Do you see these little apples? Now, you could use real apples as well. And what you could use is, you know, like kebab sticks, or you know, the chicken skewer sticks that the butcher would have. You could use some of them, like stick the stick up into the apple and then just force it down into the base. Or again, you could stick a wire in through the apple at the bottom, bring the wire out the other side, a little bit of a twist, you know, that way, and again, wire some fresh apples into it, and it'd be perfect. And it would probably work out cheaper than the artificial apples that I'm putting into it. Also, what I have is some of the kind of like dried mandarins, okay? Now again, you'll get these from O'Neill's Flowers, and I'm just going to add a couple of
And if you're in Dublin, wholesaleflowers.ie.
Yeah,
as well.
wholesaleflowers.ie over in
Sandyford.
These have them for sale, and like anybody can go in off the street and you can buy them, or again, you can buy them online if you want to. So I'm just adding 3 or so of the mandarins, and I think I have about 3 or 4 of the apples going in and out through it, and I'll just show you now what that's looking like so far. So again, as I said, keeping it a little bit more natural. The next thing I'm going on to now is our pine cones, and obviously to save time, I have all the pine cones wired. Now, a little tip with the pine cones, when you're adding them, like, not only just add the pine cone towards the outside, also add some pine cones towards the inside, okay? It definitely makes your wreath look chunkier looking. And these particular bases, you know what I mean, they're really, really full bases. Like, I had this morning, and what we do with our Christmas students is to have one-to-one WhatsApp with me, obviously not when I'm on live now, but they can send me their work for feedback or any help or support or any questions that they have. And this girl sent me the most beautiful wreath. Now, I have to say, it was fabulous. And she said to me, Janette, she said, do you think that's worth €50? Now, it was well worth €50. I know she was in certain parts of Dublin, she'd probably get nearly €100 for it, but it definitely, she was probably making a few bob on it, but she wasn't robbing anybody. It was well worth €50. And I said, absolutely, you know what I mean, it's beautiful. And she said, but the shops beside her were selling them cheaper. And I said, yeah, but I guarantee there's not the same amount of decoration and detail in them for that sort of price. Or the other thing is, like I said to you, this wreath was made on a 12-inch frame. I'll just show you from the back there, right? So the metal frame at the back is the 12-inch frame. Well, you can see that the wreath itself is more than 12 inches. It's about 18 or 19. And some of them just be nearly around 20 inches. Where you often see with some shops when they're selling the wreath, and they call it a 12-inch wreath. But it is only 12 inches. Where, like, I know yesterday somebody asked me, like, what size was the frame? And I said, yeah, it's a 12-inch frame, but the wreath isn't 12 inches. Like, the wreath is probably 18 inches or so. So, again, like, you know, size matters, as they say. Like, and the other thing is like how chunky that wreath is, you know what I mean, the chunkiness and the amount of foliage that's on it. Again, you buy them and there's a piece of spruce every half a mile, so as Deirdre says, you pay for what you get.
Somebody just asked, Monica asked, where would you get the spruce, the stems of spruce?
So, well, if you want to get them for free, Monica, look out for the shops that are selling the Christmas trees this time of the year. As I always say, all these L ones go into the shop and they look for the biggest Christmas tree that they see, about 7 or 8 foot, and they probably live in a little mobile home. And then they ask your man to cut about 3 foot off the end of it so that it'll actually fit into their house. So he has all the branches, the end of the Christmas tree, and they're normally delighted to get rid of them. So that would be one option. The second option is you can go to the likes of Wicklow Foliage Farm or Irish Green Guys, and they sell you a black, it's bigger than a black sack, but it's a big, big bag of cut up branches. Or the other option is you can buy bunches where they would have, I think they're about 5 kilo bunches, and there would be a certain amount of branches of foliage kind of like tied together, and then you can cut them up small yourself.
A couple of people are tagging the Irish Green Guys. Unless you are wholesale, you will not be able to buy from the Irish Green Guys at this stage.
Yeah, at this stage. If you were earlier on in the season, you could count with them. But at this late stage, they're not allowed any new people open up accounts.
We got a rose.
Oh, how much is that after cost?
I don't know.
I'll have to refund that person. What I'm now adding is a couple of the orange slices in out through this. As I said, it's really natural. Okay, we do have the artificial apples, but I did put some dried apple slices in and out through it as well. And I'm now putting
Sarah's just asking over on TikTok, she missed the start. Are we doing this again soon? We will be, Sarah, but if you go over to our website, you will see it in the blog also, how to decorate one but a particular door wreath.
Or pop over to Facebook. Can you watch TikTok on replay?
No, I don't think so, no.
If you go over to our Facebook page or our Instagram page or our YouTube channel, where we have 17,000 followers, you can watch them all there, because we're actually live right across the ocean, right across the board, right across social media at the moment. Now, I definitely think I have enough in this. I'm just going to hold it up to you now just to kind of give you a look. Do you think I need another bow on it, or are you happy enough with that bow there?
I'm happy enough now. We'll see what they say.
So there you go. That is your all natural. I'm now going to add the ribbon for hanging it on the door.
Oh, Viv is tuned in there. Good morning, Viv. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Haven't heard from you in ages. How's life? And Sturden and happening over there in the UK, let us know.
Linus wants to know, what's the best way to dry apples and oranges slices at home? The air fryer I have found is the most successful, and even at that,
some people have a dehumidifier, and that as well.
To be honest, they're not that expensive. I would just go to a flower shop and buy them.
Okay, so that was our 2 demonstrations this afternoon. We had our glitzy one, so anybody that's late joining us, you'll be able to watch this video on the replay to see how I made our glitzy wreath, and this one is our more natural wreath. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, God, she puts a lot of material. I absolutely hate skimpy door wreaths, okay? Now, it's personal choice. It's completely up to yourselves. Some people, as I said, might say, God, Janette overdoes it. She puts too much in. But I like to give value for money. I like, it's like when I'm doing funeral wreaths. I hate skimpy funeral wreaths. So when it comes to door wreaths, I like to make them nice and full and plentiful. And especially if I'm giving it as a present to somebody, I'll make sure it's really nice. So I have to say, I like the 2 of them.
And again now, if anybody is watching and sells any of the materials that we have used here, please feel free to tag yourselves, to tag your business. Guys, try and shop local this year. Every business is struggling.
Absolutely.
So
support your local florist, support your local home-based studio. Again, do a little search for your area. Christmas door wreaths, and put your area in. So Christmas door wreaths Lucan, Christmas door wreaths Newcastle, Christmas door wreaths Liverpool, Christmas door wreaths Manchester, Christmas door wreaths Rialto. And again, anybody that's selling door wreaths, make sure that you use your area. So again, Lucan florist, Rialto florist, Manchester florist, Liverpool florist. Put your area in.
Oh, we've 11 roses.
Another rose?
11 of them.
11 of them. Janie Mac, they must have found an option about getting the roses for free. They're probably after robbing some truck. Or something. The hanging truck there with the hook flared and they're showing all these roses. Thanks a million whoever sent in the roses. It's just Deirdre was messing around on TikTok and she was just wondering what it was. But somebody told us that you have to pay for it. So listen.
No, we don't want. Oh, we've 28 of them now. Oh, Jesus, everyone has sent the roses.
Can you let us know? Did you rob the roses, or are you buying them, or what's happening? Listen, hopefully to see a lot of you tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock for a webinar.
Somebody's asking our email address, Janette.
info@kaysflourschool.com, and our website address is www.kaysflourschool.com, and click on the blog button and you get all the information on any of the free courses that we have up. Search us on YouTube, Kays Flower School. Search us on Instagram, Kays Flower School. Search us on TikTok and send us a rose, Kays Flower School. And else?
Nope, that's it.
No, we're going to love yous and leave yous. Thanks a million. I don't think we'll be live tomorrow.
Okay, no, we do webinar tomorrow night.
Yeah, webinar tomorrow night, so that'll be enough. Thursday and Friday, we're off gallivanting, so we definitely won't be live on Thursday or Friday. Maybe live, just have a few little chats and show you what we're wearing. But listen, as I said, we're posting up lots of free classes, you know, that way, on our blog button, on our
And we
YouTube.
might just mention, if anyone is interested in training as a florist, this is where you come to.
Absolutely, we might as well do a bit of a plug. So we are a training school, a professional training school, a commercial training school. So anybody who wants to be a florist, anyone who wants to get a job in a flower shop. Do you want to set up your own business? Do you want to be a home-based studio? Do you want to just do flowers for the busy periods like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day? Do you want to be a wedding specialist? Do you want to be a hotel and event decorator? If any of that is interesting, why don't you drop us an email, info@caseflowerschool.com. And for any of our past students that are watching, or future students, we do have SkillNet funding for Module 1 and Module 3 starting in January. It's a 30% discount, and we just got word last night that we actually have 30% again funding for Module 2 starting on the 21st of February. So any of our old Module 2 students that were waiting on the February Module 2 to start, drop me an email and I'll send you the link, info@caseflowerschool.com. You'll save over €300 by booking through SkillNet rather than booking through our website. So send us a link or send us an email and I'll send that link out to you. Okay, we love yous and leave yous. Have a great day, everyone. Hopefully the rain dries up and I'll talk to you all later. See you then.